Hi guys, this is Patricia from Yurdy Cat Crochet, and this is a S.A.C.K.S update completion video. Well, technically complete. I still have to bag everything up. I have gotten 6 boxes of soap, 5 8-packs. Hi Kage! And 1 6-pack that Sam sent me, and because she made me some soap sacks, and so there was like an extra bar of soap for you know, the cause, and really appreciate that. I get by with a little help from my friends. Watch them copyright strike me on that one. But anyway, I'm not monetized, so it doesn't matter. I've had way too much coffee this morning, and I kind of started out a little groggy because I stayed up really late watching that, or listening rather, to that book on tape. I'm halfway through, well, at least I just finished CD 4, and I think there's 8 CDs of the book. You know, they can fit all that on one CD, so I don't know what all's going on with that. But anyway, if you can fit a 2.5, 3-hour movie on one disc, you would think you could fit a book. But anyway, so I'm just really happy, and I'm going to Hobby Lobby later, and I had my iced sugar-free vanilla latte, and I got on my Mr. Marblaze t-shirt. It's supposed to be like Les Miserables, but it's Mr. Marbles. So anyway, just a really great start. So hopefully it stays that way, because my level of joy right now is like through the roof. You just want to bottle that up and just send it out to all your friends. Hopefully it's oozing, matriculating through the, the camera, and is brightening up your all's day. So we'll start out with the soap sacks, and then we'll go on to works in progress and plans, and you know, and just see where that little duck I like takes us. Maybe I just put him up right here. Hopefully I will remember to do that. So anyway, 10 more soap sacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! That would last. We're at 90. This makes 100 soap sacks. I'm super excited. I'm super excited to pack them up and take them to the food bank in our town, which is the goal, has been all the time. They're a Baptist church. I'm not Baptist, but they've helped our family before in times where we've needed groceries, like when my husband had his heart attack and was you know, laid off, and just different times in our lives. We're a very low income family with my disability and all the medicines that I take, and you know, just life in general. There's been times, right now I would say that we are really blessed and have enough, and that's good, because that's all you need, right? But you know, we've been very grateful to the Baptist church in our town, and even though we don't go, I like to support them because they do good, and they don't care what religion you are, or if you are a religion, they don't care. They'll help everybody, so I want to help them. Anyway, so that's what we're doing with the soap sacks. Anybody can join www.soapsacks.com. You can get on there, you can print out the labels, there's a little label that goes down in each bag that says you're a volunteer from S.A.C.K.S, because you essentially are. You can do your own little S.A.C.K.S drive and give to whoever you want. You can do it for animals. You can do it for the homeless shelter. You can do it for the food pantry. You know, you can make these and donate them, and maybe if it's for the animal shelter, they could sell them and the proceeds go to the animal shelter. You know, there's ways of being charitable in your little locations. And how I got started was Creative Grandma Glenda and Cody had a S.A.C.K.S drive, and she got over 3,000 soap sacks and soaps. I mean, it was way over. I'm just using a general number. And she said, and I made just a few, I think 8. And she said, you guys could do it in your little corners. And I was like, I want to do that. So that's what I did. And you guys can do it for, you know, if you have a church, you could do it for your church clothing giveaway, you know, give some soap sacks and soap to people, because if they need clothes, they need soap and washcloths. And these turn into little bath mitts. They can hold the soap. They look like a little Christmas bell to me if you hang them upside down, the little dinger. And they go on your hand. And the little holder thing that you can hang on a hook can also hold it onto your thumb. And they turn into little bath mitts. And it also will hold the soap and hang to dry, and they're washable because they're cotton. And because, you know, soap gets soapy. And so you can let your little soap bar dry, and then when it's done, take it out and throw this in the washer. You know, it's a good thing, as Martha Stewart would say. But anyway, it's my way of giving back. It's not a lot, not nearly enough, but sorry. I get a little emotional when I talk about things that I am thankful for, and I am really thankful for that church. In our time of need, they helped us. And so anyway, get away from that. See how quickly happy turned to tears, but they're happy tears. So, but anyway, that'll happen to me at the drop of a hat, and anybody who knows me. I am sad to report that my little ghost got coffee spilled all over her, and there was no gonna get that out because it went down into the stuffing, and it's really hard to rinse and clean stuffies, so that went the way of the West. But I am working on another stuffy, and I'll make more ghosts. As a matter of fact, I made one for my son, so there's still one out there. But right now I'm working on this little guy that I got from the Hobby Lobby, and I'm going back. Put your answers in the comments of which one you think I'll get next. There is a pig, there is a bumblebee, there's the teddy bear, and there was this chicken, and of course the chicken was my first pet. Okay, so I'm critiquing right now. If you're curious about these kits, I'm critiquing it right now. You know, they give you the directions, and there's always a legend at the beginning about, and I'll probably try and put that picture up here when I'm when I edit this video later. I will probably have a little picture up here, if you haven't already seen it, that shows the legend. Just the legend, because I can't show everything. But in this legend, nowhere does it say, hi Kage, hi baby. Nowhere does it say, hi Harley. Harley's like, what the heck, Mom? You didn't say hi to me. There's nobody here, Kage. He might see the mailman. He reacts to people outside. But anyway, so there's a legend on here, and nowhere in the legend does it say K. And I am new to patterns, did not know what K meant, and it said, where in the pattern, let me get to it real quick. It said, single crochet, SC, then it said K, and then it said 5 DC, which is 5 double crochet. And it's funny because I did 5 half double crochets, but whatever. In my mind, I was thinking half doubles. I don't know why. And then it says, then K. And I was like, what the heck is K? And I flipped to the abbreviations because that's what you're supposed to do. And I went in there, and there was nowhere in there did it say what K was. So I thought, in my mind, I was thinking, maybe it means skip a stitch, because that would make sense here. And I typed it into the internets to see, the internets is like the magic 8-ball, right? So I typed it into the internets just to see if by chance it would pop up what it was, and it was skip a stitch. And I was like, okay, all right. So the internet sometimes helps, but I was right when I guessed that it was skip a stitch, but I wouldn't have known that I was right until, but there's some like discrepancies in this. There was one area where it said, you were in the decrease round, but one of the rows said increase, but there was no good reason to increase at this spot. And as a matter of fact, I didn't, and it looks perfectly fine. And I think they just messed up and put increase instead of decrease on that line, because it just does not make any sense to have an increase there. So I think it was a typo. And then just a little nitpicky, you know how second has 2 and then ND for second? Well, instead of third, 3 and then RD or whatever third has after, I think it's RD. It says 3 ND, like second, like third, and in the thing. But I mean, you can use your common sense and work it. And that was really the only issues up until this point that I've had so far. And and also my gauge. It said to use a 4 crochet hook, which they give you a tool, and there's a 4 to 3. It said to use a 4. So I used this tool and I used the 4, and it was turning out like a bigger stuffy, and I was like, I don't understand. So I took it apart and I switched to the 3, and it is closer to the dimensions that it says in there. It's got to be just user error, I'm assuming, on that one. And also, it's a little bit stressful, but only because now this pattern's easy, and I figured out the little glitches, on my own. But it is stressful only having a certain amount of yarn, and your gauge being slightly different than the gauge that's in the pattern, and you run out of material. So I don't think it would be stressful at all if I bought a bunch of yarn and I was using the pattern and I had plenty of yarn to pick from. Probably would be a joyous event, but I was stressed a little. But I'm better now. We've dealt with it. So anyway, here's where I'm at so far, and he's really cute, and it looks like he got a little skirt, but really it's his feathers, around his neck. And I did exactly the count, but there was one that's a little short right there. But I don't care, it's in the back, I don't mind about it. And where I was talking about the yarn, you can't probably see it from just looking at him on this picture, but this arm is bigger than this arm. He's got a little Finding Nemo situation going on. He has a gimpy fin, but you can't really tell it when you're looking at it head on. My husband didn't even notice it. You people that do amigurumi professionally, like my yarny sister Missi, total professional. If you haven't been to Missi's Yarniverse and More channel, I'm going to put her link in the description. You go check out her amigurumis. Puts every single one of us to shame. And if you're in the same league as her, bravo. But I will never be. Her possum is so amazing. If you watched her fair makes that she entered for the fair, it's just so adorable. I can't stand it. It's just so adorable. And she's making some more now. If you go watch her videos, check her out, watch her videos, like and subscribe. But anyway, really adorable. But anyway, she probably noticed the gimpy fin, but or wing rather. But so this is where I'm at so far. He's got a little bottom. Well, it's kind of a big bottom, but he's got a bottom. And I didn't have much trouble with separation in the stitches where you can see the stuffing, which I was pretty proud of. That's a first for me. And I got a little bit, I left this on here because when I was working with this, I was like, if I have to sew anything or anything, I'm not cutting this yarn just yet because I ran out with the orange. But it wasn't too bad. What I did is instead of sewing this way up underneath his little feather dress there, I sewed it more just to the edge of this and then tighten it down to the body, and you can't tell it's not just as long as this one. That's how I fudged it to make it work. But I think he's adorable. I cannot wait. It might not look exactly like the thing when I'm done, but it'll be pretty close once I've got the nose. I have to do the beak and the waddle, I guess you call it. Missi would know. Or does Missi might not know. Missi, do you have chickens? I know you have cows, and I'm jealous. But anyway, and then the little, whatever that is, the top and the bottom is what I have to make. Oh, and the feet. I got to make the little feet. And there's going to be a wing situation, I'm sure, because that's all they gave me. I hope that I can get it good enough, with this amount. But I think going forward in the future, I'm going to see while I'm at the store and buy a couple of skeins because it doesn't hurt. So this stuff is like paint that you keep in your work box. If you're doing a painting, you have all kinds of paints already. This is the same deal. Get you a bunch of different colors and you'll have your rainbow palette so you can paint your amigurumis with the colors that you need. So I think going forward, that's what I'm going to do. I love these kits. $5.99, Hobby Lobby, worth every penny. And I got to use the tool that my mom got me again for the eyeballs. Oh, and look how much stuffing I have left. You have enough for a whole another chicken, which is really cool. Maybe two. I think I could get 2 more chickens. This stuffing just puffs right up when you open it. It's amazing. But anyway, so that's the update on that. No, I have not abandoned my frog, my froggy friend. He is still in his box to keep the dust off of him, and I'm going to pick him back up and finish him shortly. I probably will not. I'm going to get another amigurumi from Hobby Lobby, but I probably won't finish or start it till I finish my froggy. Because I'm trying to keep projects moving along and not starting a billion of them this year and not finishing them. And that's why I am not doing any other crochet alongs till the beginning of the year. Except for I'm going to be sort of participating in the 100 Days of Halloween, Ranee's blanket that she's making. I think I might do a few squares when I have some time, but I don't want to commit just yet to anything till I get the things that I need done off my plate. Which brings us to the veterans blanket. Okay, most of y'all know I have 2 veterans. Well, I don't have them. My Aunt Becky does at her house. She takes care of them. She has a pretty big house. Really nice, too. It used to be a girls' school, and she turned it into like a compound. It's very, very nice. and she's got this beautiful Italian style kitchen with great big long Italian style banquet dinner table, and oh, it's nice, you guys. But anyway, I have a little bit of envy, kitchen envy. But so she has 2 veterans that she's taking care of. One of them happens to be my great uncle. I did only know him for a little bit when I was little, and not very close, but my aunt is, and she's taking care of him. His wife, which I was very close to, my great aunt Pat, they split up when I was 9, so he went his way. She stayed with us, or around us. She had her own place, but and I was very, very close to her. She was like a second mom to me, and that's saying a lot because I'm close to my mom. And she's also was like a second grandma to my son, who misses her very much, the same as me. Don't get me started. But anyway, so her husband is now living with my my Aunt Becky, and and then she has another veteran there. And my uncle was a veteran from the Navy, and I don't know what branch of the military the other veterans from. He's a total stranger to me. I don't know, but he wants a blue blanket, so that'll be the next blanket that I'm working on. But right now we're seeing, I changed it to Tequila Sunrise. It was supposed to be the Ring of Fire from Nemo blanket, and it ended up being more of a Tequila Sunrise. But here we go. So if you can see, I've added like 12 more. Are we at the end yet? Can you guys see me? Hello. I've added 12 more rows, and we're getting close to being done. It is pretty, it's wide, very wide enough for sure. It's going to cover my shoulders and drape over both sides. And I would say it's a little more than halfway. And there's some ends I got to weave in. Don't judge me. But anyway, I think it's beautiful. It's turning out great. And I have to pick a pattern for the next blanket, because I want it to go quicker, for starters, and I've got to get the yarn for it, and I got to pick a pattern, get the yarn, and hopefully that will go quicker than this one has, and they can have those for Christmas. And then I've got that baby blanket to get started, and I got to do it like within the next couple of days, get that started. So that is why I'm not joining in any crochet alongs. I'm not technically doing the 100 days of Halloween, except for in solidarity I might make a couple pumpkin squares and do something with them. Because I love Ranee. She's one of my best friends, and I want to support her. So please, if you guys want to, please go on over and support her. She's going to make a really cool blanket. And I'll be jealous of her finished blanket. But at the beginning of the year, we plan on doing a crochet along after I've got all this off my plate. And then we'll be doing it together, which makes me really happy. With Missi from Missi's Yarniverse some more, and anybody who wants to join. We've got to get together and do a meeting on what all the parameters are going to be, and there's going to be a bragging rights for the next year, and there's going to be, of course, a charity that we support, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. And but more on that later, after we get together and talk about the rules and all the stuff, so we can better present it to you. And we'll probably present that right after we discuss it, but it more closer to the new year, so that everybody can join that wants to join, or just watch. But and I got to get this stuff like off my plate. So because I I want to put my full attention to it. I've kind of put the soap sacks as my full attention this year, but it's been a little bit put off by these extra projects that I've been doing. But I don't care to have 1 or 2 projects along with the main thing, which this year the main thing was a soap sack. So, and that has been a success. I'm just so excited. Somebody's gonna have to pop my balloon so that I can, you know, come back down. But I don't know. I don't think it hurts at all. It just makes you sleep better at night after you come down off that high. I am not high, although I may be a little bit because of the caffeine from the iced coffee, and I plan on having another one. I know the white vans are going to start showing up, and the men in the white jackets, and anybody who don't know what that means, ask your mom or grandma. They're coming to take me away. But I love all you guys. I hope you all are being joy bombs in your corner of the world, sharing your craft, sharing your passion, sharing your joy. You know, help a neighbor, do like what Becca's doing, and she's spending 5 minutes in her garden. Well, weed eating. Maybe you could help a elderly neighbor do 5 minutes in their garden, do a little weeding the garden, or you can bring them some snacks that you baked. If you're a baker, if you're a crocheter, you can take them some crochet summer washcloths. The possibilities are endless, whatever your craft is. Or if you can spend 5 minutes with them, just ask them how their day was. Make them feel like you appreciate them. That just means a whole lot in somebody's life. And if you can't do anything else, don't start me crying. If you can't do anything else while you're just out running your errands, like I'm going to Hobby Lobby today, but while you're out running your errands, if you can't do anything else, as you're walking past somebody today, be sure to give them your best smile, because you don't know what that person's been through, and your smile could be just what they need to turn their day around. And I hope you guys are doing that, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.